Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian, aka Metal Boot Guy. You haven't figured it out, I love metal music and I love boots, so I decided to combine the two. This is just a quick introduction video. I think the reason I started this channel is because um, I've got a lot of boots coming in soon, and I wanted to show them off. I know there's a lot of boot videos on YouTube. I don't know that there's a whole lot of boot channels though. Definitely a shout out to Dell from Dell's Leatherworks. He shows off a ton of boots and a ton of Trumans. Truman's probably my favorite brand right now. I like all the leathers that they have, and I like the styles of the boots. And he does show, again, a ton of different leathers and a ton of different makeups. But they have so many leathers that sometimes it can be hard to, find someone that has a particular leather that you're interested in and see what the boot's going to look like before you order it. And so I just thought, hey, I might as well show some of the ones that I've got coming in. The reason I got into boots was because I wanted something to look a little nicer for when I was going to things where I needed to dress a little nicer, and also just for casual wear. I guess it just kind of fit, I don't know, my personality, or I guess the style I was trying to go with. I don't know. Who doesn't like boots? It's a rabbit hole that once you start, it's hard to not get more and more into them and want to buy more and, get different leathers. And so that's how I arrived at boots. I just wanted to show off, some of the ones that I've got. The first pair of boots that I actually purchased was a pair of like $50 boots that I bought at Journeys. And that was just, I wanted something quick and cheap that I could see if I even liked wearing boots. And as soon as I put them on my feet and walked out of the store, I was like, yes. It's a confidence booster. It makes you feel like you look nice. And it's just, I've never really been into tennis shoes. So that's how I started. Those didn't last long, obviously. They had a glued on sole, came apart pretty quickly. But I did wear them a lot, and they were serviceable for the $50 that I spent for. They served their purpose basically. Shortly after that, I attempted to move on to Thursday boots, mostly because of the cost, and free returns, free exchanges, etc. Because I really didn't know a whole lot about boots. I didn't know a whole lot about the construction. I didn't know a whole lot about the different soles that were offered. The heights, at that point, 5-6 inch height was like what I wanted. Never thought that I could wear something taller. I just thought it would look goofy on me. But I could not actually find a pair of Thursdays in my size. I did try the Captain, and it's kind of odd because it's more of a narrow last, and I had narrow feet. But one size was too small, it squished my feet, and the next half size up just seemed too big. So I ended up not going with those. And for reference, I Brannick at a 9.5, and I'm kind of like a BC width. I have narrow feet. My foot measures 10 inches exactly to the end of my big toe. So the pair of Journeys that I bought, I got in a size 9. And they may have been like a little big, but the next half size down, the 8.5, it just felt a little too snug on me. I didn't like it. And I could not tell you what socks I was wearing at the time because I've moved on from, obviously as I've gotten into boots, I've gotten into boot socks. So that's a different video altogether. Now all I wear is Darn Tough. So I always try on my boots with the specific socks that I plan to wear with them. and make sure that they fit properly. I do like my boots to be just roomy enough because I'm weird about my toes. And a lot of boot brands, or at least the ones in my experience, your typical like Red Wing, Truman, Wolverine, they don't offer anything but D and E widths, or maybe EE. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But then, of course, if you go to like Nick's, they've got all the different widths and everything. So it's always been hard for me with footwear trying to find something that really fits the shape of my foot. Um, so the next pair I moved on to after the Journeys pair was a pair of Wolverine 1000 miles. And I got these for Christmas. My girlfriend or ex-girlfriend bought them for me. They were on sale, I think, for like $200, which is a steal. It was a certain collection that they were running at the time. I believe that they were like dog themed. So there's like 3 different colors that you could choose from. I don't remember again what the collection was called. This particular color was chocolate, so it's a really dark brown, as you can see. They're kind of dirty. I have brushed them off, but I've never really cleaned them. I think I applied a coat of Red Wing boot cream to them, which was probably a mistake, but I didn't know what I was doing early in my boot days. I really like these boots actually. Um, Again, I know they're not, tanks like Nick's, but for $200, Goodyear welt construction, got a leather heel stack. Um, I really the leather's a little thinner, but they were very comfortable. I wore the crap out of these for the longest time. I got these in a size 9, based off of the Journeys boots that I bought. And again, they're a touch big, but they're very comfortable for me. And I never tried an 8.5, so I don't know how snug that would have felt. But again, at the time, I was wearing some generic socks. I don't even know what. They were probably thinner than the darn tufts that I wear now. So if I wear, just medium thick socks, they're like perfect. I actually haven't worn these in a long time because I've moved on to other things. But for the longest time that I did wear these, I loved them. I wore them everywhere. I would tell people like how much I love them just because. I actually like the fact that they had the leather sole because in the beginning of my boot journey, I thought that the leather sole was more traditional, as far as over 100 years ago. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look it up if they even had rubber or rubber soles. But personally, I will never buy another pair with a leather sole unless I'm buying like I don't know, maybe like a dress pair or something that I know I'm only going to wear to specific things. The reason being is because one, when I think of a boot, I think of it being rugged and I want it to be wearable in all conditions. These are obviously not good for wet conditions. And even in dry conditions, if I would take these to like the mall where the floor is, real shiny and polished, it just felt like every time I walked, I was going to kind of slip in them. And that kind of made me like scrunch up my toes, almost like I was trying to, hold the boot up off the ground or something. But otherwise, fantastic boots for the price. I don't know that I would ever spend the $400 plus that they sell them for. But if you can get a pair on sale, and this is kind of what you're looking for, fantastic boots for the price. Um, Trying to remember the exact order I bought my boots in. After these, I definitely bought a pair of Iron Rangers, and the reason I went to the Iron Ranger was because I like the more rugged look of it. I like the real cap toe, um, and you could walk into the store and it fitted. That was kind of the main thing because I was still very unsure about my size. And I thought, why order a pair in a 9 when I could just go into a store and make sure that I'm getting the right size? So I ended up doing that, and again, that was a Christmas gift. So um, I went into the store and they branded me. They didn't have like I think now they have like a thing that like an iPad or something you can step on and it traces your foot or something like that. I haven't been back. I mean, this was several years ago. She branded me and fit me in an 8.5. And I was a little shocked because most of like the tennis shoes that I wore prior to boots, like I think my Pumas are a size 10. I believe the Asics that I had were a size 10. Um, I didn't really wear a whole lot of tennis shoes because again, I was never really into them. But just going off of like those, I mean, that's just kind of what I thought my foot was like. And I didn't again brandic my feet at any point prior to that. So when she told me 8.5, I was like, hey, that's crazy, you know. And they were a little snug, but as they broke in, I mean, they fit my foot really well. I don't have them with me because I ended up selling them. I just again moved to different things, and I didn't really have a big problem with the Iron Rangers, but I did not like the sole and the lack of arch support. And I would say I have maybe medium arches. I don't have flat feet, but I definitely don't have a high arch. And so just with the little amount of arch that I do have, I just felt like I was walking kind of flat footed a lot with the Iron Rangers. There's no heel stack. It's just that sole is just stitched right on there. And I know you could have them resold, but again, I just moved on to other things, and so I just never saw myself wearing them anymore. And so I ended up selling them just to get what I could from them, so I could purchase different boots. So that was my second pair, and then I get mixed up between my third and no, my third pair definitely would have been my Trumans. Technically, this is my fourth pair. My third pair was the exact same boot, but I went with the size 9 in the Truman. And the reason I went with the size 9 was based on talking to customer service about sizing and telling them the sizes that I had in both my 1,000 miles and my Iron Rangers. They recommended a size 9. And looking back, the size 9 may have worked. I only wore them one time because I got them over the summer, and where I live, it's like really hot and really humid, and so it wasn't really boot weather. I wore them one time to the mall, and I just wasn't 100% sure of the sizing, and I didn't want them to. I didn't want to break them in or crease them or wear them out anywhere and get the soles dirty and scraped up or messed up in case I needed to sell them because I was already past the point of doing a return with Truman. So I kind of put them in the box, and I do this with all my new boots until I know for sure the sizing. Like I'll put them on when I first get them, and I have hardwood floors, so I always lay like a towel down so they don't get dirty, and I'll put them on super carefully so I don't crease them, and I'll lace them like super gently, and then I'll kind of like walk like a robot. That way I don't crease the boots in case I need to return them. I'm really OCD about things, and I definitely don't want to return something in a used condition. One, because I want to make sure my return goes through, but two, when I purchase something brand new, I want to receive a brand new product. And so if I'm returning something, I want the seller to get their item back in new condition. And I want the new buyer who's going to buy those shoes after me or boots after me to receive them in new condition as well. So I tried them on again after a couple months. And I guess in my head, I just told myself they were a little too big. And so I talked to customer service again, and they said try an 8.5. So I sold those, ordered the 8.5. The 8.5 was really snug. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Now this is the 79 last. It's a pretty narrow last. I know a lot of guys will go a half size down from Brannick, but a lot of guys will also do true to size on the 79 last. So it just kind of depends upon your foot and your Brannick. So I'll do another video with Truman sizing and everything. Um, but these were pretty snug at first. They did break in, but they didn't really soften up that much until I applied a coat of Bic 4 to them. And I wore these a lot. And, they did start to break in some, and, obviously they creased and whatnot, but they didn't really like actually slide onto my foot until, like with ease, until I applied that coat of Bic 4. So that was that pair. After that, this is where I get confused. I can't remember the order. I think it was these, but it could have been another pair I don't have in front of me because they're in my garage. I was outside earlier with my kids and stepped in some dog shit. And I cleaned them off a little bit, but I didn't want to bring them back in size. But I was still kind of between like, I wonder if a size 9 will fit me better than these 8.5s. And I didn't want to spend a whole ton of money on a size 9. I didn't really have money at the time either. I got lucky with this guy on in the Truman Boot on Facebook, Truman Boot enthusiast. If you're interested, we DM'd back and forth. He had this pair for several years. I think he bought these like first run from Truman, and he didn't like them, and he oddly enough could not sell them. I guess he had a hard time selling them. So he gave me a really sweet deal on them. So shout out to that guy. These are a size 9. Now, unfortunately for me, these are Truman's. This is 79 last, but this was a first year run, and they've modified the last a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what exactly they did to the last, but they did modify it some. So I'm just not 100% sure if this size 9 fits the same as their current size 9. However, these are a touch big also. But with the right socks, they fit good, and my toes have enough room. They don't bother me at all to wear. I actually really like these boots, and I'll talk more about these in a Truman boot video. So the other pair is a pair of Evergreen Chia, if I'm saying that correctly. That was an MTO I did. I also did those in an 8.5. Those are on the 20 last. And in my Truman video, I'll have those cleaned up so I can actually have them here in front of us so we can see them. So after that, I did order a couple more pairs from Truman that were MTOs. I'll do separate videos on those, and they'll be included in my Truman video. And then after that, after several months of buying ready to ship boots, returning ready to ship boots, going by Nick's half size down from Brannick, talking to people on Facebook, checking comments on YouTube, checking Reddit comments, as much research as I could do. I finally settled on a size with my current work boots, which are the Nick's. Technically, they're Overlanders. It was just a boot that I built when they did their overstock sale this past summer. They started building your boots the day after you ordered, which was amazing. So these are a size 8.5C, and these are on the Thurman NW last. The normal H&W last may have worked. I wasn't 100% sure. They were snug, and it just felt weird. I don't know why. I probably should have kept those because, again, these are a touch big, and they're definitely a little long. But that's okay because with the socks I wear, the width is not an issue at all, and I work outside every day. In all conditions. So here in a month or two, I'm going to be wearing some even thicker socks, and so I know that they'll fit me properly. Had I gotten the normal H&W last, my thicker socks would not have worked with those. I did try to go down to an 8, but the 8 had I maybe just enough room in the toe length, but the width was way off. My foot was squished, and that was an 8D on the H&W last. I did try an 8D on the Thurman NW last, and those worked, but it's odd because the 8D would have actually been about. Oh, I tried the 8D on, yeah, both the H&W and the Thurman NW. And the 8D is going to be roughly an eighth of an inch wider than the 8.5C. And so they just felt kind of odd to me because they were a little shorter, but then they were wider. And I didn't really like that. So this last, both H&W and Thurman NW may not be for me. I've yet to try their other last. However, um, these are working out great for me. They're here. I mean, the shaft is perfect. I love the 8-inch height. Love it. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't sure if I would like a taller height. Now I buy all my boots in a taller height. I prefer 8 inches. I'm not sure if I could go 10. 8 may be perfect for me, but we'll see. But for a work boot, I mean, I don't even need to sit here and explain it. Everybody knows that if you're going to buy a work boot, to buy Nicks. None of my other boots compare to these. They're tanks. They're built with purpose. And that's not to discredit my other boots by any means. But I would not wear another boot to work at all. I mean, I did wear my Evergreen Chias from Truman to work, and they were serviceable. And I wish I didn't, only because they're scuffed up now. And as you can see on my Nicks, they get dirty. They get really dirty. And my Evergreens, like the color is like faded or it's like off now. Like, I don't know, stained maybe. They don't have that like dark green pop to them anymore. They're just like a faded green, and I'm kind of upset. I mean, not really upset, but I just wish that I hadn't done it. But this is what I wear to work now. This was the last boot that I had bought, or at least the last boot that I'm going to show in this video. I absolutely love these boots and wear them every day, and I expect them to last for years. So that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I just wanted to do an introduction video, just to show off I just want to be another guy that shows you guys boots is all, and hopefully show you something that you haven't seen yet. Maybe inform you on something that, sometimes I have questions about sizing or leathers or different things about boots, and I can't find the answer in anybody's video. Or maybe you find the right size because or the right answer because maybe a certain boot guy has the same size foot as you, and but maybe somebody else can't find the answer. So maybe there's somebody else like me that's got the same size that I've helped with the size, or a color that they were interested in. Hopefully you guys like heavy metal, because I'm going to be showing a lot of heavy metal in my videos. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for checking out my channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.